This is where the star fell.
Gosh, I'm finding even 30 gold. I have no gold find on this character that I'm aware of. No. And yet, I'm finding a bunch of it. I can hardly wait to see what this monster damage increase is going to do to the monsters close to the Skeleton King. Those monsters are very aggressive, and the Skeleton King actually did not hit that softly before. At least in co-op play, there were a few times the Skeleton King got close to killing me. In solo play, it wasn't too bad. Rend. Okay. Alright then, they've really changed the way skills are learned here. Let me take just one moment. We went over Bash, Hammer of the Ancients, Cleave. Haven't gotten Threatening Shout, that was originally at level 4. Level 5. Well, this is still correct, so level 5 Rend, I don't see any changes here, but I bet you there are. Okay. Okay, I took a quick look. Apparently I was wrong. There were no changes, but we'll go ahead and use it here. Rend, 20 Fury cost, a sweeping strike that causes all nearby enemies to bleed for 210% weapon damage is physical for 3 seconds. So, what's nice here is that it actually does more damage than Hammer of the Ancients, but Hammer of the Ancients has a slightly increased critical strike chance. Hammer of the Ancients also has the ability to strike kind of a group, and the group doesn't have to be very close to you, whereas Rend, you typically have to be pretty close to get the effect of it. So we're just going to go ahead and use it and play around with it. Hit Rend, hit accept, close out. So far I am liking Cleave just to deal with these groups of monsters, so I'm going to keep using that instead of Bash. Normally I go back to Bash, but I feel like I'm running into bigger groups than I used to.
My name is Lackdanon, and I'm cursed. Once the captain of King the Oryx army, I left only to honor my land and my king. No man has greatly loved this king than I have for mine, even as I drove my blade through his dark and corrupted heart.
Alright, let's take a look at Rend on this guy. Very nice. Still very close range.
It was Lazarus. Of that I am certain. He alone had the king's ear and whispered dark and evil magics into it, instilling the notion of an imminent attack by Westmarch. Afraid to speak against the Archbishop, the councillors nodded their empty heads in agreement and sent us off to die.
Alright, I miscalculated that one. See the chandelier overhead, I thought, oh, there it is. I didn't see it there. I am blind, apparently. See, that's what I get for trying to be clever, you know? Leave the sneaky tactics to the likes of wizards.
When we returned from our horrific defeat in Westmarch, my beloved king lost all pretense of sanity. He seethed with rage. I thought we could keep the dead trapped here. I tried to save me.
See, I'm definitely feeling like there's more monster packs now. I don't remember there being quite this many. Could just be luck of the draw, or maybe they decided to increase the amount of monsters that spawn in each of these areas. Shall we save Deckard?
Thank you.
I have need of your knowledge, Deckard Cain. Leah will be happy that you live.
Oh, it is wonderful to hear that Leah is
Not sure what brought my health back up, because I noticed when I was fighting that monster that my health was dropping just a tiny bit. Maybe not really a tiny bit, but it was going down. And it just kind of went back up, and I didn't really notice what had done it.
Follow me to Tristram.
Uncle, you're alive!
Thanks to you and your
Time is running short. What can you tell me of the fallen star?
not much, I'm afraid.
Please, Uncle.
I grow in power.
The Skeleton King was once our beloved. He lost both of
A sad tale. But I seek the fallen star.
the key to Leah.
Alright, first rune of the day. Level 6, we have a bash rune here of Clobber.
Horrors have visited Tristram before.
Instead of knockback, each hit has a 20% chance to stun the target for 3 seconds. So, a weird note here from Diablo fans saying the Fury generation was increased from 4 to 6 for this rune, although I don't know why that would be the case. It doesn't seem to mention it here. Bash normally seems to have that, so can't tell you why I had that note, so I'll just go ahead and say that it really hasn't changed. So here we go. We lose the knockback, but we gain a stun. And it's the same percent chance, so 20% knockback compared to 20% chance to stun. That's feeds in honestly really nicely with ground stomp. I can stomp, do an AoE stun, have bash, do an occasional stun. I think I want to stick with Rend. So we'll go ahead and do that. What I'll do is I'll look at bash here. It's an interesting effect. Did they change the order that we get these? I think they did. They did. Because instigation here, I'm pretty sure, was what we used to get. Yes, level 6, instigation. I remember this because I did this with my friend ThinkFlight, where we were doing co-op, and instigation was one of the first ones I got, which, you know, in a way didn't make too much sense because this is a generate 6 additional fury, used to be 4 additional fury, so that one was buffed. But early on in the game, you know, level 6, you really don't need that much fury, although it let me use more abilities. Fury generation, because I don't have a lot of high-end fury spenders, didn't seem like that's something I would really need at early levels, and that's been kind of their philosophy. They give you the stuff that reduces your mana cost at higher levels, so when you combine them with higher level skills, you have a reason to use it. So apparently, not only have they changed the order at which we get certain skills. For example, Threatening Shout was originally level 4, and I want to look to see when it is now. Oh, look, there's even a little check mark to let you know that that ability has already been slotted. Isn't that nice of them? Aha! Threatening Shout is now level 17. So that's a big change. And specifically why that is a big change for the beta is that Threatening Shout, let me just pull it up here, it was about a level 11. There was a rune for Threatening Shout called Grim Harvest, which increased the gold and magic find of monsters that you were about to kill. Great for, you know, farming, obviously, but now we don't get it in the beta anymore. So they've changed things on me. I may have to go through the other classes completely all over again just to see what they've done to our skills. So we'll have to see what happens when I go back to my wizard. I'll look at what I've got and see what's changed. So for the time being, though, I'm just going to go ahead and I'll keep using Rend, Ground Stomp, and we'll use the new Bash rune. So Clobber here, and looks like Onslaught, that was the last rune you got before, so that hasn't changed in position, just this one. Alright, so we'll try it out. It's got a neat effect to it. Alright, since we can't get Threatening Shout anymore, what I'll go ahead and do is talk about the changes that they did to it. Apparently, Threatening Shout, its damage was reduced from 50% to 25%. And then what's been changed here that wasn't documented in the recent patch notes for patch 14 is that Threatening Shout, instead of being a Fury Spender, is a Fury Generator. It used to cost 20 Fury, it now generates 15. And to keep it from being spammed, they've added a 15-second cooldown. It was also slightly nerfed due to that, so now you can generate Fury with it. And so they nerfed its effectiveness. It used to reduce damage by 25%, and now it only reduces that damage to 20%. So Threatening Shout is something I won't be able to talk about anymore. So if I run into a skill that I haven't documented, I'll just put a quick pause in, and I will talk about it when I get a chance.
I'm sorry.
This must be done.
There's some stunning going on.
Forgive me.
Hedrick, help me.
Won't be able to use any of my other stuff until 9. That's a shame.
I couldn't have done this.
Hedrick, I need your aid. I must find Leoric's crown.
I can help you there. You'll find his tomb in a cemetery in the Weeping Hollow. And if you see my fool apprentice out there...
This axe got a double affix proc on it. Vampiric Lumber Axe of Wounding. Plus 2 to 4 damage with a 1.2% damage dealt converted to life. And as you can see, this is already an item that will increase my DPS beyond what I've got here. That's kind of nice for a low-level proc, honestly. Getting 2 affixes on it instead of just 1.
Hey, look, I'm happy to sell to you, but you've got to promise not to tell anyone where you got these goods from, okay?
Alright, I'm going to turn those into resources, I think, later.
There's a big pack coming this time. Stand your ground! That's the last of them. The bridge is clear.
Yeah, I wonder. Skeleton. Nope, not there yet. I want to see if the skeleton lore will finally play. That's something that's been oddly missing in the beta since it started. Feels almost silly to be bashing with a dagger, but she will stun you with a force? I may not worry about the experience gain in a bit and just try out my new axe. That stun is rather helpful. Attack speed bonus. Come here, boys. Yeah, when that procs when I want it to, that's really useful. Stun one guy, turn around, kill the other. I could see this kind of rune being really effective for dual wielding with Bash. Just because then you attack faster and you basically increase your chance to proc the stun. Although with dual wielding, I anticipate a lot of people will probably go with Fury. Wow, my health dropped down to half. impact on this one. Okay.
I need aid.
Let's go ahead and use a health potion on that one.
Need more time. Gain new strength.
Hammer of the Ancients, Rolling Thunder. Alright, the next rune in the series. Alright, let's move away from this pack so I can just quickly change out. At level 7, and that has indeed been left alone. Okay, so who knows how many things have changed? Probably not a lot. So what we're going to go ahead and do is go here to Hammer of the Ancients and Rolling Thunder. Create a shockwave that deals 155% weapon damage to all enemies within 22 yards in front of you. So with this, it is actually nerfed. The shockwave used to do apparently 208% damage. It's been brought down to 155. So what it looks like is the initial impact does the 200% still, but there's a shockwave after the initial impact which does the 155. So judging from the way that's worded, it looks like you'll still get the 200%, although it could be that they take that away from you because of the AoE on it. We'll have to see. So far I'm already quite content and happy that I've had to use a health potion because of a elite group. There's the shockwave. Seriously, I would like to see some comments here on if anyone's watched the other videos or anyone else that's in the beta, what you think about this, but it's almost looking like they have really increased the amount of monsters that are wandering around now.
This must be the blacksmith's apprentice. Hadrig should be told of his fate.
Another event. I believe that's the one from earlier, actually. Stun and AoE combo is feeling pretty good actually so far. Stun them with Stomp or Bash. With the AoE of Hammer out there. do kind of like the chance to stun a little better than the chance to knock back. The knockback chance is kind of nice, but if you're kind of pushing them against a wall, it might not knock them back as far. Not only that, but if the monster is fast, then the knockback really doesn't do you a lot of good. The stun, on the other hand, leaves them vulnerable for about 2 or 3 seconds, and you can just keep hitting them or move on to a different target if you need to. And it keeps them in close range, too, so, you know, with the knockback, if I'm just fighting one enemy and I end up knocking them back, then that makes me have to chase that monster down, possibly leading into other monsters or groups. So with this, I can just pretty much stun them and just keep hitting them, so it works great for being up and close. The range on the stomp is not really wide enough to be hitting a lot of these. I really was hoping to maybe run into the Den of the Fallen for this patch, but looks like I won't, but that's okay. Health shrine, I'll save that just in case. Not that I haven't felt the need for it. There's just that one group so far that really made me have to use a potion because I started the group already low on damage. And of course there was an elite in there, so it just kind of hit me fairly hard. So, you know, it's still easy. But the additional damage does mean that I have to be a little more attentive than before. Alright, this area is pretty much clear. Just do the upper corner here. Because there's usually some kind of zombie wandering around up here. Or a couple of them. And hey look, a shrine! Fortune shrine, that's magic and gold fine. Very nice.
More fury.
quick look over here. This is apparently the area we'll be going beyond the beta after the Skeleton King is destroyed. Obviously locked out at this point. The Gravedigger's bones. I don't think I've seen those before. Okay, let's do this one down here in the lower left.